A very good evening to you, our wonderful viewers. I'm your host, Rems Mabote. Thank you for joining us here at the 2022 Engen Pitch Polish program on this special day. Today, we celebrate Women's Day. And before anything else, here is a special message from our Engen Petroleum Judge, Bulela Mkandawiri.
As we celebrate Women's Day, it would be remiss of me as the only female on this panel to not acknowledge the thousands of women who were brave enough in 1956 to march onto the union buildings to make a stand for all of us that have followed since that date. Today we celebrate the milestones that have been achieved since then, the strength of women, gender equality, and programs such as the Engen Pitch Polish really make a lot of sense to a brand like Engen because they speak to financial security and empowerment and ensuring that women can really be free, both in formal and formal settings. To all the women out there, happy Women's Day. Own your space, be the best version of yourself.
Thank you for those wonderful words, Bulela. Before we go any further, let's take a quick look at our current competition standings. From the red group, Lakim Nigati and Claire Lewis pissed their way through to the second round. Palesa Mutaung and Tabiso Sebata have made it through from the green group, and now their polishing opportunity comes up. So that means we've reached the halfway mark of round one. 8 of our 16 contestants have already pitched and 8 are still to come. Before I forget, if you want a chance to win one of our very generous viewer prizes, keep watching. Right now though, it's time to catch up with Yasmin Ali, our learning facilitator, to find out what's been happening in the Engen Pitch Polish classroom.
Thank you, Rams. There is a saying that the highest form of flattery is imitation. When you see people trying to copy what you're doing, it means that you're doing something right. But when it comes to business, we can't just sit back and accept the flattery. We need to protect ourselves against our imitators stealing our market share and therefore our profits. A barrier to entry is something that makes it more difficult for a competitor to enter the market. So why would an investor want to know about this? Well, simply put, if you are already in the market, they'll want to know what will make it harder for someone else to come in and compete with you. Or if you're at the business idea stage, they'll want to know how you will or have overcome these barriers. Either way, this will make you and your business more investable. Investors love barriers to entry because it helps to protect their investment. The stronger the barrier to entry, the less risky the investment will be to them. But what makes a strong barrier to entry? Naturally, most industries have generic barriers to entry, such as setup costs or specific qualifications. And if you have overcome these generic barriers, great. But investors will also want to see non-generic barriers that add value to your product and make it that much more special. If you're interested in learning more about non-generic barriers, please head over to the Pitch and Polish YouTube channel for the next part of this important pitching lesson. I'll meet you there. Back to you, Rams.
Thanks, Yes. I love how you and I are able to have the opportunity to ask ourselves these important questions. No matter how experienced we or our contestants are, having a moment of guided reflection like this is going to yield results. Now, we need to get cracking with tonight's pitches. Introducing Nothando Kowa, who hails from KwaZulu-Natal and is the owner of Umbilo Express plant hire. Good luck in the Nothando.
Nothando, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
Good.
Fantastic. Nothando, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Pitch and Polish.
My name is Notando Kowa, trading as Nolly Kowa. I own a plant hire company in Umbilo, Durban. We hire 7 permanent staff members and have been trading for 4 years now. We invoice between 60 to 70 customers on a monthly basis, these customers being individuals, businesses and construction companies operating within the Durban area and the surrounds. I came into the plant hire industry as an admin employee. I then aspired to a branch manager, during which time we grew our turnover in 3 years to triple its size. The business came up for sale and I was given first preference to purchase the shop. With the prize money, we wish to inject more equipment into our existing plant categories and tap into new plant categories. By so doing, increasing our turnover by 10% and reaching up to 100 customers a month in invoicing. This way, we decrease the amount of customers waiting on our equipment to be available, as well as the amount of business we are outsourcing to help existing customers who cannot wait. Thank you.
Sure, good timing. And with some time to spare, Notando.
Thank you.
Do you want to start, Bulela?
Sure. Thank you, Noltando. That was really good. What's your why? Why do you do this? Why does this wake you up in the morning?
I fell in love with the industry when I entered into it. In fact, I started just after high school, and it challenged me to learn how all the equipment works and how construction works. And I realized that in the industry there aren't enough people like myself within there. And I thought, you know what, let me get myself out there and give a push. I have a long string of people coming up behind me who I am impressing and helping to develop as well in their own respective fields.
That's great. And what would you say is your unique selling proposition for the business that you're running?
So in my business, our main selling point is our service, on-site service to client. It's a big deal. Especially because customers don't have time to waste on equipment that is broken down, and we have an open communication channel with our customers. If we cannot supply to them on time, we're on there. Sir, look, I can't help you now, but I'll be there at this time, and we do our utmost. Your site is my issue. Your job is to make sure your project is finished.
And what are some of the things that keep you up at night in running your business?
In running a business,
in running this
I would
particular
say
business?
at first we had the greatest start to business. You know, this is a tough industry, and I'll tell you that I didn't feel it up until we reached the unfortunate COVID situation, and that's where cash flow started becoming an issue. However, we found a new revenue stream within the business where customers were withholding hires to save money, but then repairing their own equipment, and that's where we came in.
Great, thank you.
Can you elaborate on that new revenue stream? So the
Sure.
repairing, are you now undertaking repairs
Of course,
yourself? You are, okay.
for existing customers.
Okay.
So obviously within reason. So the customer wants to now use his own equipment and save on hiring. So Mr. Joseph, it's okay. How about I lend you my machine for a couple of days and I will fix the same tool for you and bring it back for hire. That same customer will take their machine back, but will go, you know what, Nolly, I'd rather keep your machine on hire for an extra day because, you know, we offered a service to them.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got 2 more questions for you.
Oh,
The one
sure.
is, I carry the perception
Yes,
that you're in a sector which is probably male dominated.
100%.
How is it that as a young lady,
Yes.
you find yourself working in the sector? And I mean, and you know, has that been an obstacle for you at all?
You would think so, but I've found that a lot of the people that I deal with are quite impressed, and in fact that does encourage me as well to keep pushing, because then I realize that I am sitting on a unique opportunity, and I want to grow within the industry and sit on the big chairs with the big guys.
I want to commend you on that because I think it's awesome. Takes courage.
Thank you.
Then just on the customers, so
Yes.
60 to 70 customers a month, what is that translating into turnover in terms of rand turnover a month?
Okay, so on an average we turn over 350 to 400,000 a month.
Okay.
and we can, like I say, we can increase that.
Yeah.
Of that amount, I would say about not 10%. Let me just quickly work it out. I'd say about 25% of that is actually business that we are we're making from outsourcing equipment that we are running short of to other companies, and we're only making a 25% turnover on that. But should we eliminate those cross hires, we'd then be able to actually make a lot more money from those.
And last question for me. Do you have a sense as to how profitable you are against that type of turnover?
Yes, I just said it's a 25%.
Is that your gross profit or net profit?
What? Oh, on the turnover. So we on our figures, let's say it's about 70% of that is our, not 70%, I'm absolutely wrong. 30% of that is our profit. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, that's great. Thank you.
Let me just start off with the soft question.
Oh boy.
You know, in my experience, to see this kind of drive means that in your life story, somebody believed in you at some point. Is that right?
Right from the beginning.
Who was that?
My mother's employer initially put me through school from grade 2 to matric, and I then pushed myself. Obviously now I can't rely on that. And my employer, my first employer from the hotel industry, I worked for them for 6 years, actually supported me in funding the business that I'm now running.
Yeah, it's amazing that now you own it, and
yes.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing.
Definitely.
And then now for the more technical question, you spoke about 60 to 70 clients a month.
Yes.
And then you spoke about a 10% increase.
Yes.
The last time I did maths, that means 77.
Okay.
And you spoke about 100 in your pitch.
So I've got an answer for that.
Right.
Yay. So most of our customers, I would say about 30% of our customers are they are repetitive customers, but they will hire once or twice with us on a monthly basis. And the rest of them will then hire on a regular basis. The reason why I can't say to you we'll make double our turnover is because it all depends on the projects. I can pull in 30 customers in a month, but they won't necessarily have projects in my area to support my business. So that's why the figures are reflected that way.
Great, Natano, thanks so much for your pitch.
Sure.
Very inspirational.
Thank you.
You may leave.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Wow, what a breath of fresh air.
Complete breath of fresh air. It's great that we keep saying that.
Yeah.
Very promising.
On Engen Pitch Polish, lots of breezes coming through. So what did you think?
Very impressed. She knows her stuff. She was confident. She answered the questions. She paid attention to the questions and answered them. Yeah, definitely highly rated for me.
Yeah. Alan?
Previous pitches I had a favourite. I'm not sure that I'd do any more because I thought I was exceptionally impressed here. And I wasn't expecting to be, by the way, because when I realised we were going to be chatting to somebody who's running a plant hire company, I was like sort of yawn, plant hire company. But she brings a great energy.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware that we're going to be seeing a female in that sector, which I thought was also really awesome. I loved your question, by the way, around her story, because when she started articulating that, I actually started getting goosebumps. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's like inspiring just hearing about people being given a hand up and then running with it, because she obviously deserved it. She displayed something, and I think she's still displaying it. So
yeah,
she's great.
She is. Yeah, I feel I was trying to, we're here to also critique it so that they can polish. It's called pitch and polish, to polish them. But she's polished.
Yeah, she is.
She is polished. Wow. All right, let's go, Mark.
How are you feeling, Notan?
I feel fantastic. That was awesome, and I'm just really glad that I managed to speak my truth in there. And now it's up to them.
That's the one side, your truth. The other side is, do you believe that you sold to them?
Definitely
and they heard you?
Believe that I sold and they heard me.
Yeah.
100%.
Do you know that you're the only contestant to finish the pitch before the time was up?
That's insane. I can't believe that for a second, because at practice I was constantly exceeding. So I don't know how I managed. I guess I felt the energy of the room, and
I think it's the singing before the
Yeah. Oh, you heard that.
presentation. Well done. Congratulations. It is so gratifying to see impressive women entrepreneurs like Nothando breaking into traditionally male-dominated industries, which neatly leads me to a Women's Day message from our gold sponsor, Nedbank.
Hello everybody and happy Women's Day. I guess for us gentlemen, Women's Day represents an opportunity for us to celebrate and acknowledge the women that have been part of our lives and have helped us make the men we've become. I think this season of Pitch and Polish has been, I think, particularly insightful. We have some wonderful women contestants as part of this year's process. Claire, Palesa and Nothando, I think, have been a particularly great demonstration of women breaking into sectors that have perhaps previously been dominated by men. So my congratulations and acknowledgement to them. We'd love to have more women such as Palesa, Claire and Nothando as part of the process going forward. A special plea to all the gentlemen out there, open up your sectors to women. If what we have witnessed through this process is anything to go by, women will bring a wonderful dynamic to what has previously been male-dominated sectors. Happy Women's Day.
Thank you, Alan. I think it's a good time to take a little breather so I can give away another Take-A-Lot voucher worth 5,000 Rand to one of you. By now, I'm sure you know the drill. So here's tonight's question. How many permanent employees does Nothando currently have? How many permanent employees does Nothando currently have? Be sure to post your answer on the Pitch and Polish Facebook page before midnight tonight to qualify for the random draw. We'll announce the winner's name on Facebook tomorrow. Let's meet contestant number 2 from the blue group. Here is Siraj Adams, the first contestant in this year's competition to represent the Western Cape and the owner of Videomed. Let's see how he does tonight.
Hi, Siraj.
Hi there.
How are you doing?
I'm nervous.
You're nervous,
Yeah,
but are you prepared?
I hope so. I had a good guide.
All right, Siraj, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pitch and polish.
Good day, everybody. My name is Siraj Adams. I'm from Videomed. We're a telemedicine platform that allows women to be able to access contraceptives, prescriptions in an independent pharmacy. I've been a pharmacist for over 20 years, and we've seen lots of young girls come in for the morning after pill. And we've always tried to encourage them to be able to move on to contraceptives. But it's always been a challenge. It's expensive, it's inconvenient, and it's a little bit embarrassing. So a telemedicine solution in a pharmacy would be able to offer them access to a doctor on a screen. We've built a solution that does electronic health record, a video call capability, and a digital prescription. So in the end, the girl goes into the clinic in the pharmacy. 8-10 minutes later after the consult, they come out, the script is emailed to the pharmacy and they dispense it. We have a model where we charge a 330 consultation fee. We take a percentage of that to be able to cover cloud costs and tech costs. The Clicks and the disc schemes offer something similar. So we work with independent pharmacies. There's approximately 1,200 independent pharmacies in the country. We want to target about 400 of them. We make break even at about 100 pharmacy signups. So what do we want to use the money for? We want to be able to drive signups and marketing to be able to get the number of pharmacy signups. We currently have 12. We do about 18 scripts a week. And then for the second year, we want to drive the enhancement to the tech, and we want to be part of the RaceCorp program.
Okay, Siraj, let's start with you, Alan.
Yes, great, thank you. And so I'm familiar with the concept of using platforms to do sort of video consultations. It feels like you guys are trying to carve out a specific niche with respect to women and contraceptive. I'm keen to understand, why you've chosen that niche, and do you see the platform being expanded to deal with more broader ailments or things like that going forward? So let's address that one. I've got another question for you after that.
Sure. So why contraceptives? As a pharmacist, morning after pill is a once-off sale. Approximately, according to IQVIA, which is a medical data analytics company, there's 120,000 morning after pills sold nationally. So there's a huge opportunity to try to convert women to contraceptives, which is an annuity business because the script's for 6 months, so they come back to you all the time. So it's a great opportunity to convert those women. And yes, we can repurpose the platform for various other conditions, such as sexual health, sexually transmitted infections. So a guy comes in and he has the drop, or a woman comes in and she has urinary tract infection. All sexual health opportunities can be expanded to. We could even offer a pregnancy platform where, say, the woman does fall pregnant, and we can continue care, access to supplements, formula in the future, etc. So it allows us to be able to repurpose the platform quite nicely, be it for diabetes as well. So I think we want to add value to a pharmacy, because I think independent pharmacies want to be able to compete against the clicks and the disc games, and they want to be able to be on par with them in terms of the technology.
You're going to have to give shorter answers.
Sorry.
Okay. Thanks. I got the gist. So
Sure.
I think the very short answer would be yes, it can expand this platform, but thank you for elaborating. Then just quickly on your target market. So you mentioned 1,200 independent pharmacies.
Yes.
You said you're targeting 400.
Yes.
100 gets you to break even, I think.
Yes.
And you've got 12 at the moment.
Yes.
I'm just keen to understand how you scale this and how long is it going to take you to get to the break-even point?
Yes.
And how much cash is this sort of drawing upon on a monthly basis between now and when you get to that point?
So it's hard to do one-on-one pitches to pharmacists because they don't have a lot of time to listen and buy into and sign up. So we're doing roadshows. So we're basically having mini conferences to be able to get 40, 50 pharmacies to a site, sign them up after they've listened to the benefits and then go to the next city, do another roadshow. So we're doing one in Cape Town, then we're doing Durban and Joburg, so that we can get to a break even quite quickly. But we need the funding to be able to deploy a rep force, about 4 of them per city. It's about 15,000 Rand each, so that they can go out and do onboarding training, support, and follow-up queries as well. Because not every pharmacist, because independent pharmacists can't always leave their business to come to a conference. So we have to also go to them, but ultimately to get to the break even, we're going to use roadshows.
Suraj, still too long. Okay. Bolela?
Thank you, Suraj. It actually helps me understand a bit better as you explained, so thank you for that. My question is, why is the time right for your product now?
Fortunately, we are not COVID dependent. The problem of saying the words, I can't give you a script for your contraceptive, you need to go see a doctor, has been around before COVID, during COVID, and will continue going forward. I want to remove the words of a pharmacist saying, you need to go get a script. Come back to me with your script.
Okay, thank
But
you.
I'm trying to be short.
Yeah.
I can't go on, but I just want to go on.
Okay. I think, I'm not sure you completely answered what I was looking for. So why now? Yes, I get the COVID, that it's not really affected by COVID, but why not 5 years ago or 2 years from now? Why is now? Is there a particular relevance to now that this product is?
Well, I think as a pharmacist, we are under threat from the corporates. They are buying up businesses. They are expanding. I think Click specifically is investing in pharmacy. You don't invest in pharmacy to keep a competition down. You invest in it because it's a good business. So I think pharmacists are looking for an opportunity to improve value in their solutions, to be able to keep up to date with pharmacies, and women tend to be high consumers in terms of looking for convenience. It's a nice confidential services. You don't have to go sit in the doctor's rooms for many minutes sitting with other sick patients. You want something convenient, and we definitely see that, you know, it's 2022. There isn't really a service that really supports this type of women's health solutions.
Thank you.
Suraj, I'm trying to get a sense of, you keep saying we're going to, you're speaking about the future, and then you spoke about 18 scripts per month. So just, does the product exist?
Yes. So we've built the technology.
Yeah.
So now it's really about growing it and scaling it. So it's not, so we've built electronic health record, the video call capabilities we built ourselves, and the digital prescription is already built. For the future, we're looking at enhancing certain aspects to it that can add value to a pharma company as well.
And that the 100 pharmacy number seems low to me. You know, if I'm looking at your percentage clip on each prescription, I just can't work that out. 100 pharmacies, how many are they, how many prescriptions are they producing a month?
So for our business, we take a percentage, 15. So the
15.
GP is 15% off the consultation fee,
Right.
and then obviously it's about an 11% net after our operating expenses. So the way we calculated it was that each pharmacy would do a prescription a day, which we felt was very conservative. So 5 to 7 scripts a week.
So that's 1,500 Rand, because 15% of 330, let's call it 50 bucks.
50 bucks, yeah.
Right? 50 bucks times 30 is 1.5.
Yeah.
Right?
Times
100.
Yes.
Yeah, is
150.
Okay. And how many people are running this?
So I have pharmacies, so that's how I'm bootstrapping it. So I take from my business to be able to support the team. There's 5 employees. I've got a CTO, which is the main tech guy.
You got 5 employees.
Yeah.
Plus you got development. Plus you got marketing. Plus you for 150,000 Rand a month.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
But that's a break even.
That's the break even. I'm not making profit there. I'm just covering to be able to pay my IT guys, pay my ops, my project managers, my pharmacists, and again, I'm still leveraging off my own business to be able to keep it going until we hit 100. Past 100, then economies of scale kick in quite nicely. In addition, we're looking at other revenues like digital advertising, because once I have 100 pharmacies, I have sort of a material number to pharmaceutical companies to say, okay, I've got a reasonable number of eyeballs on my platform.
Suraj, that's all we got time for. You may leave.
Thank you.
Thanks. Sabulela, what do you think?
I was skeptical initially, just reading a little bit ahead of his pitch, but I think it's a needed service. I can relate to the awkwardness of going into a pharmacy and contraceptives and things like that. So I think it's a very needed service to also curb the high level, pregnancy and teenage pregnancies and that sort of thing. I'm not 100% sure of exactly how it would work, because in some of the consultations you would need some kind of examination. So from a video perspective, that aspect I think is what I'd be curious about. How do you then make up for that in a video setup?
Yeah. Anand?
Yeah, so I mean, it's not a new service. He may be trying to carve out a niche in the service, because I know there's other sort of web-based medical
telemedicine
consultation processes. So that's the one thing. Second thing is, I'm not sure about his go-to-market strategy, I must tell you. I think, so this feels like he was trying to sort of help save the independent pharmacists, given the sort of competition they're facing from the Dis-Chems and the Clicks and people like that. And I would have thought that he maybe would have, and I'm pretty sure there's an independent pharmacy body that sort of work together to sort of reflect on what they're doing, and that going in through a sort of mother body type of approach may help get this thing scaled, because without scale, the things are too thin to be able to make this meaningful. And getting scale on this, I think, is going to be difficult to achieve one pharmacist at a time. I think you need to have a mother body endorsing this type of thing to the independent pharmacists if it's to get the sort of scale he wants. And he's setting his sights too low.
Yeah.
400 out of the 1,200, if he's trying to sort of add value to independent pharmacists, is too low.
Yeah. I just my big issue is those numbers. I mean, I've been in the development space. Just the development, if he's developing, that's going to, and 5 salaries, and I'm sure he hasn't taken 50 things into consideration in terms of what the real cost if you cleave that out of his current business. So I think that break even is way beyond 100, and his ramp up is going to have a beautiful Excel spreadsheet that's going to show his ramp up if we do just 1 per day, but he's not going to do 1 per day. And so the lead time is going to be a lot longer.
It's very easy to disrupt this type of thing, because you just need someone, a techie, to redevelop the same type of thing and charge the doctors 10% as opposed to 30%.
Yeah.
And if they can get scaled, then his model gets bombed,
killed. Yeah.
So it's a challenging space to try and get right.
All right, let's Mark.
Siraj, in your heart of hearts, how do you think it went?
I was nervous. I think I answered all the questions the judges wanted to know, but you know, when the nervousness can overwhelm me sometimes, but I think I did okay.
It's a very unique business that you're into. Do you think that's a unique selling proposition?
I think being an independent pharmacist myself, I understand the challenges to be able to competing with the big boys in the corporate pharmacy space. And I do think that we want to empower and strengthen communities with solutions that improve access to care. And that's ultimately why I think we should do it, as opposed to whether or not we, you know, how dare we compete with the corporates, we're so small. So I think empowering communities is what I want to do in my life.
Excellent. I wish you luck.
Thank
I
you
hope
very much.
make it to the next round.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers. And ending us off tonight is the final Women's Day message from the CEO of RaceCorp, Alon Reyes.
Happy Women's Day from Engen Pitch Polish and from RaceCorp. As someone who grew up with two female role models, my mother being one of them, being an entrepreneur, I understand the power of women in entrepreneurship. Having been part of Engen Pitch Polish for more than a decade now, I've seen women participating more and more, but it's not enough. So if you are a female entrepreneur out there, we want to see you here at Engen Pitch Polish. Happy Women's Day.
Well, two pretty good pitches tonight from the Blue Group, but that's all we have time for. I'll see you back here next Tuesday when the Blues continue battling it out. We'll also be catching up with the first runner-up in the last year's Engen Pitch Polish competition, Homolimo Motswani of Urban Mobility. Thank you very much. From me, Rems Mabote, good night and God bless.